Business owners, especially new ones, are always facing the task of trying to find their first accountant or change their accountant. I've been through this many times with company owners, newly formed companies, and even accounting firms. Now, from my experience, accounting firms offer basically two services. Number one is tax preparation, especially for small companies, and number two, financial statement preparation. Every accountant, if they are certified accountants, which means either CPA or CA, depending where you live, are authorized and permitted to write financial statements and sign them. However, if you are owning a privately held company, and most of you probably would be, you won't go public initially, you don't need a certified audit from an accountant. So you don't need one of the big firms because there's some of the few who actually do it. Certified audits are very invasive, very involved, and very expensive. And if you don't need them, you don't really want them. The next level down is called a review. A review does some work, some examination of how the company supposedly operates, and they give you a financial statement based on that. They all do tax returns, and they all offer exactly the same services regarding tax returns. So you don't really need to worry about which one does which. And frankly, if you're going to need real tax advice, you want to don't go to an accountant for that. You go to a tax attorney who's far more knowledgeable on the law and what you can do and what you can't do than your accountant is. Don't believe them when they say they are tax experts. They are not. They are tax preparation specialists, but preparing taxes and developing and dealing with business laws are a whole different matter. What I found when I went from public accounting and became a CFO inside corporate was a world of difference in accounting. What you see as the outside accountant is what the client wants you to see and prepares for you to see. However, these accountants overwhelmingly have never actually been CFOs. They've never worked on the inside of a company. That's an immense difference, as I learned. I always advise people when they're looking for an accountant, look for someone who actually spent some time working as a CFO inside of a company. Though I have to warn you, there are very few of these who go from being CFOs to being public accountants. It's not because they don't necessarily want to, it's because often within one of the peccadillos of the CPA or accounting world is that if you have actually gone to corporate, as it's referred to, perhaps you weren't good enough to cut it as a private practice professional accountant. From what I will tell you, that is totally wrong. The reason they don't go back is because most of the time, if they want to go back, they will be told by accounting firms, well, you're not up to date on taxes. Let me tell you, you can become up to date on taxes. What they are far more up to date on is how companies work, where some of the weaknesses are, and what you may have to do to be able to look for some of these weaknesses to be able to provide a higher quality financial statement. So the fact that that an accountant will tell you that they have done many financial statements. Well, from what I can see and what I've experienced, and even what I teach accountants, is that having made financial statements gives you as much knowledge about a company almost as looking inside the front window of a store and determining how the store operates by looking at what kind of items they try to sell. There's really no relationship. So if you want an accountant who's really going to help you build your business and help you do better at keeping control of your company, I suggest look high and low for someone who actually has that experience.